All right, let's be real. There's nothing worse than getting unexpectedly blindsided by costs that you weren't anticipating or last minute strategy changes. If your ad agency isn't being transparent with you, it's like playing a game of hide and seek with your budget. And trust me, that's not the kind of surprise that you want. So, in this episode, I'm actually diving into why transparency and flexibility are one of the key components of a successful relationship with your ads agency and long term success with your ads. Okay, so let's talk about two words that can make or break your relationship with an ads agency. That's transparency and flexibility. So if your agency isn't being upfront about your ad spend or the KPIs that they are trying to hit, or changes in strategy, and you are flying blind, that is not going to get you the results that you're after. The same goes for flexibility, really. So, no matter how well you plan, things change. Your audience, the market, Facebook's algorithm, don't even get me started on that. But you need an agency that can pivot on a dime without skipping a beat. So let's start with transparency. This is one of my core values is transparency in our reporting and everything. And so you want to know exactly where your ad dollars are going, okay? How your ad campaigns are performing and what's coming next. So if your agency is leaving you in the dark, treating you like mushrooms, guess what? You're going to end up frustrated and you're possibly going to be over budget, and that's just not cute. We do not like that. So the key here is clear KPIs, and your agency or ads manager need to be on the same page about what success looks like from the start. So that means discussing metrics, whether it's conversions, leads, ROAS, so that there are no surprises later on. Nobody likes a surprise like that, right? So let me bring in Michelle again, because she's basically a case study in transparency and how transparency can drive success. So when we started working together, we were really upfront from the get-go. Here's your budget. Here are the KPIs that we're aiming for. Here's how we're going to keep you updated. And Michelle knew exactly how much she was spending, what the expected return was, what our KPIs were, and how her campaigns were performing at any given time. And because we kept that transparency rolling, there were no hey, wait, what? There were no moments like that where she was like, what? When it came to the results. Instead, we hit her goals and kept the campaigns humming along smoothly. And that's super, super key. So now here's a red flag to watch for. If your agency or ads manager can't explain to you what they're doing with your money or why a strategy isn't working, you're dealing with a black box agency. Okay, you know the type. Everything's a mystery and you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. That's a big nope for me and a lot of the people that I work with that have come from these black box ad agencies that are just completely not transparent. Here's the truth. Okay, ads can be complicated, but your agency shouldn't ever leave you guessing. So if something isn't working, they should be telling you why and how they're going to fix it. End of story. So let's talk flexibility now, because the digital marketing landscape changes so constantly. So if your agency is stuck in their ways, you are in trouble. If they don't want to adjust on the fly, you are in trouble. You need a team that's not only proactive, but is flexible and adaptable. Okay, whether it's shifting budget allocations, tweaking the targeting, or updating creative, flexibility is what keeps campaigns from going stale. So back to Michelle. She's a perfect example of flexibility in action. So as we ran her ads, the landscape changed. All right. And we saw this coming, new trends, shifts in her audience, even platform updates. Okay. But because we were constantly monitoring her campaigns, we were able to adjust quickly and we saw things coming. And so we were able to anticipate that and be prepared for those pivots. We reallocated budget, we refreshed creative, we fine-tuned targeting without even missing a beat. Okay. So that's flexibility. I remember even there was a big change in how creatives recently. There was a change in flexible creatives versus dynamic. And that's something that needs to be adapted to in the strategy instead of like, oh, that's a new thing, I'm not going to use that. No, it should be tested. It needs to be adapted. And you need to be flexible in that. So because of it, we didn't just hit her goals, we surpassed them. So another piece of the flexibility and transparency puzzle is regular updates. So you and your agency, whoever you decide to work with, you need to be in sync about how things are going. And if things need to change, those adjustments should happen fast. Okay. So if you're waiting weeks on feedback updates or um, if you're waiting weeks on feedback or updates, your campaign could be absolutely tanking while you're stuck in limbo, like waiting for things to change. So here's the deal. If your agency or ads manager isn't being transparent about the numbers or isn't flexible enough to adjust or adapt on the fly, it's time to reevaluate, right? Like those are red flags. You're stuck in a black box agency. Long-term success comes from working with a team that absolutely keeps you informed and adapts to whatever changes and challenges come your way. So, hey, if you are ready to work with an agency that keeps it real, book a call with me today. And I want to talk about how we can build a transparent, flexible strategy based on a trust foundation relationship that sets you up for long-term success. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Don't forget, click that link that is somewhere around this video. Book a call and let's start building that transparent, flexible partnership that your business deserves. I'll catch you in the next episode.